The sun's in my eye. You know what time it is. It's 4 p.m. Eastern time. If you're here on live or whatever, doesn't matter. We're here. We're live. I'm in my apartment. I'm doing this with my hands right now. You're watching. Oh my god, I'm making so many dumb jokes already. This is gonna be a good one. So this is my last like normal episode of the show, and that really is insane to think of. I've done 90 plus episodes, and I'm very proud of them. And I thank you guys for watching them. But today is not the last one. Today's a great one. Also, I want to say the Oscar nominees are a little bit interesting this year. I just wanted to bring that up quickly before bringing my guest. Very, very proud of a lot of those nominations, but also Mank, really. Whatever. Okay, so bringing in today the host of a game that I fucking love with all my heart, a person I love with all my heart, an energy that I love with all my heart, a person that you've seen here before. When I just see her backstage, I'm just smiling already because I love her so much. I want to bring her on stage. Lana, how are you?
Hey, Mark. Hey, everybody.
How are you? And I just noticed one of your production members just hopped backstage too. Literally right when I was showing you. You've seen it before on the show. Amazing dude, great energy. Logan.
He's here.
Hello, I made it.
But how are you guys today on this over here bright and cold Monday?
I'm wonderful, and it's a nice and grayish kind of day here, but nice and comfortable.
Nice.
We have an also nice and gray Monday as well in Arizona, which is interesting and different, but I'm okay with it.
Me too.
And that's the weather report. That won't matter for anyone that's not in New York.
Sure. Let me fix my lighting real quick for y'all. Give me one.
Sure. So let's talk about high rise. Lana, let's give the rundown of what high rise is before we go deeper into. I would like to have that happen in the top of these episodes.
Okay. Well, high rise is basically just a game that me and a few people decided to come up with. It was on a whim. We were playing so many Zoom games that we've all played in so many times, and it was like I enjoyed hosting like little random ones that I did, and I was like, that was fun. I could host, but I wanted to do a more formatted game, not just random and different things here and there. I wanted to be more formatted, and so, but I was trying to figure out what type of game I wanted to do, and we went through like a million different ideas trying to come up with the format for high rise. But I noticed that a lot of games was basically strictly voting out people, strategic gameplay and voting out people, and that was it. I wanted it to be more have competitions involved in it. I watched one of the games and there was a lot of competition in the and I like that aspect. So I was like, let's do something where we'll have competition plus strategy, and then throw in the voting out element on top of that to make one big game. And so what high rise format is we have 3 games going on at the same time. So every we have breakout rooms in the Zoom, and each breakout room has a different game happening, and whoever wins those games are the person who makes the sole decision on who's going to go down to the basement. And you do not want to go to the basement because the basement is a gross and unfriendly place. It's disgusting. It's cold. It's dark. It's gross. Nobody wants to go down to the basement. But you have to think of, even with that, competitions are a big part of it. But your social strategy has to be come into gameplay too, because now you have to try to get people. If you don't win, you have to try not to get nominated.
Yeah.
So that's where the strategic part comes in, and your social part comes in, because it's like, how do I convince whoever wins that don't put me in the basement, or or that sort of thing. So it's lots of different aspects of a game in one game. So after whoever wins is 3 winners in each room. 3 people will go down to the basement. Once you're in the basement, you have you'll get a chance to plead to your house guests or your tenants, your neighbors, for why you should stay. and you get that moment to tell them why you should stay in the game. And then once they, then you go to the basement. Once you're in the basement, strategy comes in, because one of you will come back from the basement and back into the game. You have to try to convince people in that basement to vote you back into the house and back into the apartment, into the high rise.
Right.
So, it's a lot of strategy going on. It's a lot of social aspects going on, and it's competition wise. And I love the fact that we can combine all three and make one game. And that's what I think makes High Rise a little different from other games.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. Like, when I played the game, I had so much fun. Like, the only time I ever had power, I fucked up. I didn't fuck up because they volunteered. Kevin Falk fucked up in a weird way, and I fucked up his game. I'll say that.
Kevin Falk usually messes up a lot, but we love Kevin so much.
We love Kevin.
It's just like, because I got power in the first round, and in my room, I had like a person I adore, Justine, who doesn't play games often. She's like, I'll go up down first so you guys can be simple. Like, sure. We did our best we could, for the most part. But what I love though so much about that game though is like you're forced to work with people, like in a very small, because like even though the cast is like 18 or so, you really only play with like 6 people for most of the game.
Yeah. And what we do is once we do 3 rounds, we switch it back up again.
Right.
So if you make it to the past the 3rd round, you might not be playing with those same people. So it's harder to get those connections and keep them, because if you end up in a different room with somebody who you work with very closely in the first 3 rounds, you might not be in that room with the next room. So you have to make quick connections with the people in the room who you're with now. So I feel like I feel sometimes people feel like it's not enough time to make those connections, but I feel like if you need a whole game to make connections, then you're not playing right, in my opinion. I feel like you should be able to make those connections right off the bat and make people feel like they want to play with you. That's just my opinion. People might have other opinions.
I agree. I mean, I know that Logan's also in the same boat too. Like, it's like how like it's kind of like the Amnesty thing. Like with a small cast, like how do you get people want to work with you? How do you get people want to play with you and keep you safe and keep other people safe? Like, and it did well for me until Final 6, so I can't complain about that.
Yeah, and what I will say, having been on production for all 4 seasons that we've had thus far, every winner has been able to navigate the social space well enough to make it to that final 2 spot and ultimately win. And every winner we've had has been very different in the way that they tackled the competitions, the social strategy aspect of it all. And that's what I've loved being on production for the game thus far, is just seeing the different ways people tackle the twists that we have, and how the format is basically the same every game, but everyone approaches it a little bit differently, and that's what I love to see.
Yeah, totally. Like, it's a really beautiful like experience of like seeing how that all works out. Like, because I've only seen I saw the 2nd and 3rd season. I know how the 1st season went because Chanel's amazing, and Chanel is a comp beast and also a social beast. And like KP was doing amazing while winning. I think he won almost every competition there was in my season.
I'm doing the stats. I think somewhere around there. Yeah, he won a lot.
He was at like the 80 percentile for sure. Like
definitely.
Top, like he definitely won like 80% of the challenges. And Alyeska just social beasted her way through the game. Because I know Alyeska was in trouble early in that game too. Like, yeah. I did not see season 4, but
Virga was Virga was the most Virga was the most interesting winner to me, because Virga didn't win a lot of competitions and Virga was in trouble a lot. And so I felt like I didn't know if Virga was going to make it, because a lot of people had her name in their mouth and they were coming for them, and it was like, I was like, but every situation they would get their stuff out of it, and people, they had just enough people to back them up and keep them there. And then when they weren't in trouble, they would. It was interesting to watch. But Virga came out and just won it all, which was very interesting to see. So that's what I love about this format, because no winner wins the same. Nobody
Yeah.
goes in this game and can be like, I know exactly how I can win this game. I see what I need to do, because it really depends on the cast. It depends on the competitions, and it depends on how good you are that day. Are you on your A game that day? Because you have to be on your A game. You can't come in like lackluster. And like, if you don't want to be there, don't apply, because I feel like if you don't put your all in the game, that's when you're going to go, and people are going to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And some people didn't have a chance to play. I'm sorry, some people didn't have a chance to play who get out early, first, second round. They really didn't have a chance to show.
Justine.
Justine.
I still
Oh,
feel
Mark.
bad about that. She's only like, Mark, don't feel bad. Like, don't feel bad. But
She was one of the ones the ones, Malcolm, another one. They were just those people. I'm like, no, I really wanted them to play, and they played, and they went out. So Dash Cats played my
Dash
game
went out
and
like
went out
second, right? He went out like second, right?
He went
on a
second
wheel.
Yeah.
on a wheel.
Dash,
A Dash
motherfucking cat.
freaking cat went
I
out
will
on
say-
a freaking wheel in second.
We have only had 2 wheels in the history of High Rise thus far, and
Okay.
it's Jester Aguilar and Dash
Yep.
Cat. Like that.
That was my season.
how
That was my season, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. That's how iconic this just is ridiculous. And I'm like, it hurts my heart, because like, I will put this out there now. If Jester and Dash ever sees this, you are welcome to play High Rise any day of any week, because I feel so. Justine, Malcolm McDaniels, you all my early boots, who I feel robbed by. I'm just saying, you can come back at any time.
Yeah.
Chrissy,
we love you.
she already knows. She already know where she going. she already know. So
what I love about this game so much, and it's so unique to this game, is your production team. So, like, for those that don't realize this, there's 3 games happening simultaneously during High Rise. So that means Lana is the overall host of the game, but like also Logan's a host, Urel's a host, Amneris is a host. It's like, and then there's moderators in each room, make sure the game works properly. It's fascinating, like just seeing like the level of scope to the game. So
I'm actually not a host. I'm not a host. I am the mod. I was the original mod.
Logan is
all of
my
the mods that we.
Logan is my head mod. Okay, Logan is my head moderator. And so, well, let me do this, and I'm going to do this. Let me shout out to my production team, because without my production team, there would be no High Rise. This idea literally came from myself, Jacob, Walter, Amnetis, and Yadel. We were all sitting in the call, and we were just talking, and we were like, we want to do a game, and it would just spun from there. And then we hit a wall where we couldn't come up with anything else. My sister was giving me ideas, and I was getting ideas, and we hit a wall. We didn't know where we were going to go. And then I was like, you know what? I know somebody who will give me some really great ideas who can help. And I went and called Luke. Luke came in there.
I love Luke so much.
I love Luke so much. He walked in there in my production room, and he flipped everything around, made everything that we wanted to say make sense, because we had all the ideas, but it wasn't making sense. Luke came in and made everything make sense, and the foundation was made. It was working, and it was like, this is what we're going to do, and it's worked. It looked like it was going to work, and we were like, how many moderators do we need? We're trying to figure out everything we needed. I played Banishment one week. Logan was playing in that game. We ended up
Banishment. You won Banishment.
I won Banishment that day.
You won Banishment.
I didn't want to say that, but Logan, we just happened to be in a room together doing a break, and we were talking about the game, and I was like, and Logan said, well, I can help if you need to. I said, period. You're on production, and that's
I think that was the
I
room I
brought
was
Logan.
in moderating, because I think I recall this conversation from like
Was
3.5 months.
Oh my goodness, that's so full
Not
circle. But
Not
yeah,
this.
Because I know
Logan
Lana was
is
in my room a lot in the early game. I know Logan got fucked over in that game too. So like,
not
which
by
Justice
Lana.
was.
I made a jury in Banishment now. I don't care. Banishment 2 is all I care about then is that final 3 and that Lana won. That's all I care about.
Yeah, well, Luke is watching also.
Luke.
Period. Yeah,
No,
I asked Logan to be in production, and that was that. He would join production after that, and we just went from there, and we got moderators. I will actually just ask people if they would want to moderate, because we needed people to moderate the games. I didn't want the host to be bogged down with having to keep time, having to do the job, and so we figured out we needed 2-3 moderators more, because Logan and Mnet apparently are the dream team. They are unbreakable. Apparently, they don't want to be separated. I don't know how. Every time, look, I try to separate them, they won't separate. I don't understand, but whatever. It's whatever.
That's my room host. That is my room host.
That's where they stand. But it's fine.
We all love Mneris here. Like we all love Mneris.
But who does not love Mneris?
Like how can you
if
not?
You don't know Mneris and you have not played High Rise, you will want to join High Rise just to meet Mneris.
Absolutely.
Because she's that amazing. She's that amazing.
I want to help because of her challenge, but that was more on me than on her.
I think it's a little, just a little bit more on you, Mark, that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so let me finish real quick. And yeah, so we got our room on, and so but I'm happy to say we have now added one more member of our production team, and that is the lovely Jill Hughes, who is now another permanent moderator. And so I'm excited to have her because she is very efficient. She keeps things in order, and apparently her and Jacob are now a dream team. So I can't break them up either. So
she was a moderator on my season. I remember that. That was her first season, I guess. Then
she's modded, I think, almost all the seasons at this point.
She only has not modded one season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No.
But yeah. So
she's great. Yeah.
Yeah. We have a great production team. Maybe adding more. Who knows? We'll see.
Like, it's so fun. Like, when I think of High Rise, I just start smiling. Like, for lack of a word, it's like the carnival of games. Like, not carnival, but because you're like, oh, cool. This, because it's all easy tasks. But are they easy? You know what I mean? It's like, I'm gonna shoot this ball in the hoop, but can I? Normally you can't. It's not like production swinging it. It's just there's a really good cast of like really strong strategic players. Like, and it's hilarious. Like, because Lana, we both know this. You're not a comp beast, so it's funny to me that like the comp game is Lana's game.
I suck at competitions. I will happily admit competitions are not my strong suit, and I have said many times in High Rise production meetings, I would suck at High Rise. I would suck at High Rise. I would only solely depend on my social game in High Rise. That's all I would have, because I could not do half of the competitions that I'm making other people do. When we're sitting there and coming up with all the competitions and playing them out and seeing, I am the worst, but I'm not playing, so I'll make it as hard as possible.
I think all of us have said on production that like we probably wouldn't win High Rise, which is what I love about our group. Is I think I would do decently. I think I'd probably be like first juror because I wouldn't be able. Because I wouldn't be. I would like do decently. Maybe I would win a couple comps here and there, depending. But like, I don't think I would win. But I love that it's a group of, yes, you need a full deck of cards, Chrissy. You specifically need a full deck of cards, Chrissy.
Oh, that was so funny. Oh my God. I'm so glad that now finally High Rise is streaming our game. So
Yeah.
if you want to watch High Rise and ever get a chance to watch them, we're finally able to stream it because we've had some very amazing moments that we did not get to stream. Chrissy and the Deck of Cards was one of them. The power plays that were played in these games, because there are powers, and now there are, and for my older cast who don't know, because we changed some things up, switching some things, there are now disadvantages in the game also.
Oh, no.
So not only can you get powers, but you can get disadvantages in this game. So it's to see those powers play out and the disadvantages play out in these seasons have warmed my heart, because some of them have been used brilliantly, and some of them you be like, "Are you really? That's how you go use it?" Okay, but others, working production is the hardest thing for me, because I always feel like I want to play, and I feel being a player, working behind the scenes, you're like, oh no, don't do that. I would do this. I always feel like I should jump in the game, but it's not my place to jump in the game. I've learned a lot.
Yeah. No, sorry.
I learned a lot I've learned a lot from the production side of it, that I'm like, whew, it made me appreciate production a whole lot more, being on production. Because when you usually play a game, you just like, I'm here to play the game and then I'm gonna go. The hours we put involved in making these games and making the competitions happen and getting the cast and the cast dropping and people, you have to find replacements, and it's a lot. So I
Spoiler alert, I will be hosting High Rise Season 5. Lana will be playing. It's an easy transition because we not there. It's an easy transition because both our names start with L. It's just a great time.
An extra letter,
Absolutely.
I'll never forget, like, the second challenge I won in my season, when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to nominate people that I'm not quite working with or who have my back. And then I was told right mid-nom, no, you're nominating someone from a different room and you might not be safe. And then I waited 20 minutes just shitting myself in silence.
Yeah, that was one of our failed tries. We were still trial and erroring it throughout this. That was one of our attempts to try to make twists happen. And it was maybe not the best twist, but we've learned, we've grown, we've moved on.
I mean, if that twist didn't happen, you wouldn't have had Josh Felix screaming in my general direction.
We wouldn't have had a lot of stuff happen that round. We had a Josh Felix screaming at you. We've had people yelling at production. We had people not understanding what the heck was going on and was mad very much at us. And I understood, because I can see why that twist probably wouldn't work after the fact. But like I said, that was season 2. We were still putting our footing, trying to figure things out, making sure things work. And
Luke,
not
no.
bad. Go ahead,
and what I will say is, now that I've been on production for 2 different games, High Rise was my first ever opportunity being on production for a game. And I'm still grateful for Lana, because everything Lana said is true for me as well. Like, I never really appreciated all of the hours that go into a production until being on production for 1 game and now being on production for 2. It's very much so like, I want to step in and be a player, but I can't do that. But I love everybody, so I want to like make sure everybody does well, but I can't do that. And it's definitely given me like a newfound appreciation for all of the production members across all games that have ever happened.
We do have a person backstage I want to bring on, because they're very important cog in this production. Haven't mentioned a lot today. You love him, Luke.
Luke! Yay!
Hey, Just so you know, Lana caused an ice storm to happen in Indianapolis. They canceled practice, so here I am.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
that.
Like I said, the most important valuable person to me is on my production team is Luke, because without Luke, we would not have a high rise. We would not have a functioning high rise. So
Luke is the
is why-
foundation.
We
Which is
tried
why I
it
wanted
once
to
without Luke.
announce.
It didn't work.
I wanted
Which
to
is what
announce
you
on MarkTalk that Lana is playing the next game. That is official.
Yay!
MarkTalk is canon.
MarkTalk is canon.
I still don't know how to.
But yeah,
sit with
Mark,
my son.
I'm so excited to host season 5. It's going to be a really great time.
Also, we're not rigging it for Lana. That is, she's accidentally winning every challenge.
Absolutely. She's accidentally winning every challenge, and yet she will still lose in final 2. No, I'm kidding.
All right, Lana, I think we should work together to vote out Logan. And that's how a
I think
production
Logan
meeting
is
goes.
it. I think that's how in production meetings we always vote somebody out, and Tuesday Logan will be voted out first. Period. Sorry.
That's fine.
All right, I'm sorry to interrupt.
So you're good.
You're
Go
good.
ahead, Mark.
No. All right. So, like, obviously, this game has gone through a lot of changes from season 1 through season 4, and then onward. What are like the big changes that have happened?
I would say season 1 was a cast of 24. That was much too much, so we changed it down to 18. We have decided on we really much streamlined our twists and things, so we know what twists are coming. We're not adding surprises. We don't want to do a lot of surprise twists because, as we saw the last time, that didn't go so well. And we want to make it where it's not just comfortable for production, but also comfortable for our players. We don't want it to be too much for us to handle and make it a logistical nightmare for Luke, because Luke takes care of all the votes. And so if it's a logistical nightmare for him, it's a logistical nightmare for all of us, because it's not pleasant. It's just not pleasant. And our production chat is going crazy. We're losing our minds back there, like, what's going on? What's happening? And it's just a lot. So we want to make it where it's easier. It's still challenging. Our competitions are really what we focus on a lot, because we want the competitions to be the challenge. We don't want it to be twist, because if you can't win a competition, then you have to rely on your social graces. And if you can't rely on your social graces, you got to rely on your strategic graces to get yourself out of the basement. So you have 3 different ways to try not to stay in the game. And we wanted to make it where competitions are important, social is important, strategy is important. We don't need extra fluff, extra twists, nothing like that. The powers and the advantages, I feel like that's enough. I feel like that's enough. And if you know how to work those, then you're good.
Yep, our 3 S's: social, strategy, and competitions.
Competitions. I think the other big thing as we've gone through 4 seasons now is we've sort of streamlined and sort of figured out how everybody works in a production standpoint. And I think that's been really important for us as well. Through countless production meetings, we've talked about like how each person operates. And now that we've been together for the most part we've been all together for 3 games. We tried 1 game without Luke and Jacob, and I'm sorry to the cast of season 3 again.
Yeah.
But that was a moment. But yeah, it was we've figured out really like how each other works, what to do and what not to do during games. We all kind of have our spots, and we knew that would take a few games to sort of settle into. And I think now we're at that point where we're just going to keep getting better and better as we go through seasons 5 and 6, which are coming on the horizon.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite moments in the last 4 games? Because this game's had like every time that there's like been a high-rise game, it's been like a big blockbuster moment that I've heard.
I have a notes app. I have a note of all of my favorite moments.
Let me.
In alphabetical order.
Got
I'm
not
not
in
surprised.
alphabetical order. So I have 6 currently, and I think we all kind of there may be some overlap, but I have Cheryl winning the scavenger hunt, and
By 1
casting
second against me.
by 1 second, and casting the sole vote to eliminate Kevin Falk. That is one of my favorite moments. You and Jess, Mark, in the Alphabet Memory Challenge.
The memory
that
challenge.
is absolutely up there for me.
A true story, Mark. I actually took a nap during that and woke up, and you guys were still going on that memory
True
challenge.
story. So for those that don't know what happened, me and Jester Roche went
Winner
on.
Jester Roche of a game the other day.
Haunted House, you did.
Oh yeah,
she won.
She won
She's
that.
a winner.
We went, I think, 15 rounds after the last person before us were eliminated.
It was literally 25 minutes.
Lana's exaggerating it with 37 minutes. I kept the timer.
We were very wrong. I remember we were all in production. We're like, "What's taking so long?" Like,
I literally had to be like, "It's still going. It's still going." It just went on and on, but I sat there the whole time and enjoyed every minute. I'm like, one of them will go mess up. One of them will go mess up, and nobody did. It was incredible.
I mean, exactly did, but yeah.
Yeah. I lied to y'all. I can't count. I did a lot of counting this weekend for Lipstick Assassin. I can't count. I have 5. So, harkening back to season 1, I have Robin using her power and sending Tyler to the basement. This was like final 7, I think it was. A great moment. Kel's final jury speech. Just the best. And I think my personal favorite move, and I'm slightly biased because I love both of these people a lot. I love all of our players, but Elise using her power outage at 6 against Billy.
Yeah,
that was insane.
That was the move I felt like was like the biggest move. She used that in the best way possible, and she goaded him into telling her if he was going to put her in the basement. He's like, "Are you sure about that? Are you going to do that? Is that what you're going to do?" And he was like, "Yep, I think I'm going to do it." And he was like, "No." She was like, "No, you're not. I'm using my power." It was so incredible. I literally screamed.
Production chat blew up. We were all like, Elise knows, right? Elise knows she has the power. Like, we just need to clarify. And then as soon as she used it, explosion. We were all just like, everyone freaking out. Yeah,
I knew she knew because she sent me a message before. It was like, "Can I use my power now?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's the top 6. You can use it." And she was like, "Okay." So when production is like, "Does she know? Does she know?" I'm like, she knows. I'm not saying nothing because I know she knows. And I know what's about to happen if Billy sends her down there. I'm like, "Please send her down there, Billy. Please say you said." I just wanted to see that moment. And we got that moment. It was amazing. Billy wasn't so happy with that moment, but Elise just played it the best way possible.
Elise is one of my favorite players so much. I love Elise so much.
And honestly, for me, I think my favorite moment is always watching people in the Final Four. The Final Four always does it for me because it happens so differently each time. Like last season, Henry got the key on the first try, like literally got the key on the first try. And I'm like, whoa, what? That never happened. But then we have people where the game goes on long and seeing people getting nervous and it's like, oh God, nothing. I like seeing people's faces at Final Four. Because Final Four, everybody is nothing. Final Four is pretty much very much luck based. I'm going to let everyone know that Final Four is luck based because I feel like when you were going for apartments, we get put on waiting lists sometimes, and sometimes we're lucky enough to get the call that there's an apartment waiting for you. Sometimes we're not. So I made the final four luck based, so those last four people all have the same opportunity to get in the final two. Because if we do it by voting, 2 people can gang or 3 people can gang up on one person or be a tie. I didn't want to do all that.
So speaking of favorite moments and people ganging up on people, I can't remember who the third person was in the room, but it was a puzzle challenge, and I just love reading the DMs. That's what I get. Josh Felix sends this DM. I already have this done. I'm trying to throw this. How long is it taking these people? The same room, JD sends the same message. How hard is it to throw a puzzle challenge? Like, I'm really trying. I don't know who the third person was in the room. I forget. But both of them are just sitting there waiting for this third person to do the puzzle. And then they get it. They were so excited that they won the challenge. And I'm like, oh, my goodness.
I don't remember who it was either.
I think it was Cheryl.
I think it was Cheryl, too.
I think it was Cheryl.
It might have been Cheryl.
But it's like both Josh and JD had both sent these identical messages of we're throwing the challenge.
Literally.
They are. We've had some very good, funny moments, some weird moments, some awkward moments, but overall, I feel like High Rise has been such a joy to do, and I've enjoyed every season for different reasons. But I did learn that my production team, we're better as a unit together. When one of us is gone or 2 of us is gone, we don't work well. And then the kicker in season 3, my internet also decided to be a huge hater in the High Rise world, and so it just did not work. So I've told my production, I always say, you all, I don't want to hold you back from doing anything you want to do. Do whatever it is you want to do. If it's a game, if it's you want to go out, whatever.
Maybe you're going on vacation.
Maybe you're going on vacation, and it's like, do you and enjoy your vacation. If we have to figure it out, we'll figure it out. But if we can get around it, I would prefer everybody together.
So spoiler, Luke is doing production from a hotel somewhere. It may be in Birmingham. It may be in Asheville. It may be in Denver. But it's going to be somewhere.
It's not going to be in Tucson.
It's not going to be in Indianapolis. That's what we know.
That's what we do.
And Oh, sorry. Continue.
I was say, Mark, from running your game, it's hard when you try to put a production together or try to put a game together, and you have to deal with all the little stuff that backs out, and people backing out, or things happen, internet's not working, and so things go crazy. So I feel
I've had to rewrite the script of, I think, the season you were in while you guys were figuring out over.
I'm feeling called out because I have backed out of Mark's game 4 times now.
No.
He's been casting every season, yeah.
But I feel like that has made, for me.
And you're also part of the reason why I changed the date to not be a weekend date this season, too. So.
Well, Science Olympiad is somehow going to do something that night because that's just what happens. Except for tonight,
good.
Ice Storm. I'm here. Go ahead. Sorry. High Rise.
High Rise.
High Rise. I feel like I feel like doing this on production. I feel for production. So I'm like, if I know I can't play, I'm definitely telling them way in advance that I can't play, or I just won't apply because I feel like I just don't. What?
Oh no! I just was showing these again.
Oh, I'm about to say. Oh no!
How are
you still tweeting while you're here?
He could.
You could, but why? But yeah, so I feel for production, so I try not to back out of games even when I'm tired because I'm like, oh, I don't, especially if it's last minute, because I don't want to do that to anybody because I hate when it's done to me because it's a lot of work trying to find replacements at the last minute, and you don't want to throw off the game too much.
Yeah. I also I didn't bring up, but as you know, I lovingly stole your Final Four. So because it also works for adventure games. So
Oh, can we reveal the secret of our final four, or is that going to be in the sauce there of where we stole it from?
Oh, we stole it from Roland. I mean, from Robin's game. Not Roland. It wasn't Roland.
It was the Reality Rumble.
Rumble.
okay.
Reality Rumble. Yeah, I got that from Reality Rumble because Robin's game, and then I was like, I love that idea, and so
I mean, everything's
think-
stolen from somewhere, right? You know.
In our defense, we had talked about the idea and then saw Robin do it and said that's how we need to do it.
exactly. So I feel like it's flattering to me if somebody wants to take anything that I do in the game because they feel like that was a good idea. And so I'm like, oh, that's nice. I appreciate that. So when you told me, I literally took this from High Rise. I was like, that's so cool because I thought it was a good idea too. That's why.
Well, because it works for adventure game because the game is all about choices, and I don't want to be like, oh, Final Four, someone's gonna get dragged. I'd rather it be Final Four, a weird twist happens, and then Final Three that happens.
Mm-hmm. So I enjoyed. I was glad when you said you did, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm all right with that."
I mean, it's all about love, you know. Like, yeah. And like all of the adventure game is stolen from somewhere because choose your own adventure books.
True.
Yeah. What games are you guys like look forward to that are not like? What games do you get excited by that are not High Rise?
Okay, well, let's do this. Well, I'll say it so Logan won't have to. We're so excited about Lip Sync Assassin.
I saw part of it on Saturday. I saw part of it. It was really good.
Lip Sync Assassin.
Thank you.
Game, and so Lana was an amazing winner from Lip Sync Assassin. So that's a game that I'm very excited to see.
Thank you.
I love it. Yeah, so Logan won't have to do his own self promotion. We don't want to do that. I'll do it.
Oh, I don't. I love a self promo, so I don't care.
I honestly I have played so many games now, and some games I haven't. And
how many games have you won, Lana? I missed that number.
244, I think.
6,005, I believe, is the precise number.
No, stop. But don't do that. Don't do that. But I enjoy games. Like I missed the Summit. I'm sad that the Summit ended because I really enjoyed the Summit. The Summit was one of my favorite games. I enjoyed playing. Roland, I played that last season. Enjoyed it very much. Playing it again because it's just a fun game to play. I mean, all the games that we know, Banishment, I enjoyed that game. I'm finally playing Injury. I have not played Injury before, but I'm finally playing Injury. It's coming up soon. So
I didn't know Cass was allowed to reveal it yet because Cass was revealed yet.
Well, 4 of us was revealed today.
Oh, I didn't know that.
One of the 4. I was one of the 4 revealed today, so I feel comfortable saying that part. I don't know who the rest of the cast is, so I don't know.
I haven't seen that. But congratulations! I'm excited to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm excited to play that game. I've never played it before, so I'm excited to play that. So
yeah. Like which games are you excited about playing? All of them. All of them. I love everyone equally. Just some more equal than others.
Some more equal than others. Some of them not so much. I just don't, and it's not because I just don't want to. I just don't feel I'll do well in the games, or like I'll be very confused in the games. So I'll kind of like adventure game. I love adventure game. I enjoy playing adventure game, and
You got screwed bad in that game.
I mean, it's like I'm like every other player. I love all the games I did well in. And I really don't like the games I did terribly in. It's just that simple.
Exactly. See, Lana brought up adventure game. I was gonna be like,
what?
Oh, sorry. Lana brought up adventure game, but I was my whole joke was gonna be there's this game that I haven't played. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Adventure Game. But Lana ruined my joke, but it's okay.
Like, so some of my favorite games, are the games that Mark has won, because I love Snake when Cassie ran that game, And Ian's Pyramid Scheme Champion game. Oh my God. Loved
You were
that game.
so fun to watch that game.
That game was so much fun. And Mark won that one. And so
I won
only
I
not that
did win
one.
I won the beta version of it. So
But yeah, like I enjoyed those a lot. I like Power and Safety, but again, that's because I did well in it.
Power and Safety.
If I'd been the first two.
I finally played Power and Safety this week after Nadeem convinced me while he was on MarkTalk, and I don't think I've ever sweat that much in my entire life just sitting still.
I mean, it's fun when you just have a rival in a game, and that's what your whole game is.
Yeah.
I thought it was Shelby. Like when I saw the cast, I'm like, oh cool, Shelby's in. And then the next thing I'm fighting Shelby. I'm like, did I expect this to happen?
Not that. See, for me, I haven't really gotten the opportunity to play a lot of games, just because I'm a busy person and now I'm on production for 2 of them.
Oh.
But definitely, I mean, Mark, I want to play adventure game. I genuinely forget which games I highlighted the last time I was on MarkTalk for Lip Sync Assassin. So all of those and all of the other ones, I love all of them. You're all great.
Let me just. I will highlight. I do have a couple favorites that I want to highlight. The Monarch is an amazing game.
Oh, weren't we aligned in that one, Lana?
We were, and then we got
put against each other
because of that. So
yeah,
I ended up winning that one. So that was nice.
Yeah, I ended up voting for Lana to win that game.
Period.
I'm sorry, I'll get that.
I think I was watching that game.
That was a good thing. I enjoy Monarch. I enjoy Amnesty. Amnesty is such a great game to watch and play. Like even if you can't play it, watching it is so much fun to watch and play it. It's a good game. Josh runs a very great game.
I may or may not have Amnesty notifications on my phone. So when they say returner players can do it, I have it ready to go.
Like the dates haven't worked out for me ever for Amnesty, and I was cast on the season that dropped out immediately. So like, and then he said this season coming up, and I'm like, I can do it, but I'm like, nope, I'm in Minneapolis. I'm not doing anything that week.
Amnesty is fun. Oh my god, I love that game.
Amnesty is fun. That middle of the pack is fun. It's confusing and it's weird but I enjoy playing it. So
we played well that game together, Lana. We were a really good duo, even though we had no idea what we were doing that game the first time only time I played the first time you played.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will also there is one other one I want to shout out, and it's not like a traditional mini game org situation, but everything that the Iconic Games Network does is amazing and wonderful, and I love everyone involved in that. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Dana and Turquoise are just amazing human beings.
Incredible people.
Yeah.
And while we're at it, Castaway, we love that game too.
I never got to play Castaway.
I've never gotten to play either.
I love Castaway.
Castaway always plays on a Sunday, and I have to go to church. But if it ever decides to cast me in one of their games, I will be there. I've applied. So let's see if it works.
I played a Castaway for 11 rounds and never was safe once in 11 rounds of Castaway.
Wow. That sounds like
my goodness, like I love every game.
People are so talented in this community, and they're coming up with some really great games, and it's so much fun, and it's keeping like me distracted from all the stuff when I'm stuck in the house, because we're still in the pandemic, and the vaccine.
Forgot that one. I'm just gonna keep yelling out names of games that are great. That's all I'm gonna do.
It's just it's just like I feel like the people who are coming up with these games are so talented. I'd say shout out to all the hosts out there who's doing it. Do it, because it's so much fun, and if you can play them, support them, because there's a lot of work that goes into them. Okay, I never heard of it. Oh, look, never heard of that. I'm just kidding. I know what conundrum is.
Oh, I couldn't hear you over me dropping out of high rise. What? And welcome to a high rise production meeting.
Welcome to production meeting.
I believe that.
I should have did this one by myself.
And so I was like, yeah, Lana, you can send whoever you want on your production team. And in my mind, I'm like, there's gonna be like 20 people in here, and it's gonna be great because it's gonna be fun. And it's still fun. But yeah. Let me think. Can we wrap up? Like anything else about High Rise you want to talk about besides for like the dates for the next season? Like they got banners now, so
yeah, High Rise is coming up. Season 5 is starting. It's going to be March 28th at 2 p.m. Eastern. We have a pretty set cast, but I might be making some switcheroos and changeroos. Production, we will talk about that tomorrow, because so we might have to do some things. So yeah, so season 5 is pretty much locked up, and they will start getting notifications later on this week of who have been casted. Season 6 is going to be April the 10th at 2 p.m. Eastern. Applications are still open for that. So if you have not, follow us on High Rise Game on Twitter and apply for season 6. Ladies, we would love more ladies to join our game. Not that saying the boys are bad. We have great boys in the game, but we need more ladies too. So anybody who wants to join the cast, I'm not begging anybody. I'm not going to be reaching out to everybody, because I just want people who want to play. So if you want to play, you will apply. So that's my mentality on it. I'm not going to be begging anybody to play the game. If you want to play, you'll apply and you'll get casted. So go to High Rise Game on Twitter, follow us, apply to season 6, April 10th. It's a Sunday. No, it's a Saturday. That's a Saturday. March 28th. That's a Sunday. 2 p.m. Eastern. Join us for season 5 and season 6. And we will be streaming season 5. The wonderful Eli is going to be streaming our season 5 along with Sean Collins, who is going to be streaming. I got that news right before I got on the air. So we have 2 people streaming today. So, and if anybody wants to stream, we would love to have a third streamer out there. Let me put that out there. So if you're interested in streaming for High Rise, because I would love to have each competition room have their own stream so everybody can see every competition, what happens. Feel free to DM at High Rise Game. Let me know that you would be interested in streaming. And if you want to moderate High Rise, DM at High Rise Game and let us know if you want to be a moderator for season 5 or season 6. We would love to have you.
And
period.
I know I was late, but we did comment on how great Urel's drawings were, right?
So good.
We have not, but I will say that. Let's do that. Our graphics, y'all have seen the High Rise graphics. Urel is a super, super talented man. He has drawn every person on the graphic. He has drawn all of our winners, and he is about to draw every winner in High Rise. So if you want to go become immortalized in the High Rise Hall of Fame, get yourself cartooned and looking as lovely as I do, because he's going to change my hair, I'm sure, to red next time on the graphic, because that's just what Udell does. But he is so super talented. And people have said, I want to be a cartoon on the High Rise graphic. How do I do it? I say, you have to come play and win, baby. You want to be a cartoon, you got to win the game. And Udell will draw you, and you will be added to the graphic and to the High Rise Hall of Fame, which I'm planning on doing something special with that, with all of our winners and graphics coming up for season 5 and season 6. So come on out, apply. The apps are still open for season 6.
Yeah. I fucking love this so much. Yeah. Anything else you want to bring up before we start wrapping up? Or
we said shout out to Urel, Amneris, Jacob, Jill.
You.
I did. Yes. And you.
I don't do anything.
Our production team is amazing. And
yes,
all of our players who have played High Rise have been so much fun. We have enjoyed every season for one reason or another. the highs and even the lows. I've still enjoyed everybody who has played, and I wouldn't change a thing. And I would invite all of the players to come back if I could and play in one massive season, but that would be crazy. But
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for High Rise to turn into a long-term org.
Well, I was about to say, if we have an investor that is willing to buy an actual High Rise for us, and then we could actually compete, that this
move
is
people into the High Rise.
move in the High Rise, and then we compete in cup challenges and Flippy Cup and ping pong ball into cup games that eventually you get your way to the ceiling. That sounds like a fun time.
Sure.
And you should hit up High Rise and sponsor us, and we can have our own LRG in our own building.
Sure.
That'd be so cool. Oh, like it has to be in a building. It can't just be like in like a backyard.
Well, it's a high rise.
No, it's a high rise. It has to be a building.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's the penthouse right now? A penthouse. I don't think
or we could rent out an old warehouse and do a supervillain theme. I don't know, but we just want our own LRG villain, our LRG thing. All right.
Thing.
Yeah.
We can make it work.
We'll pull this back up.
You heard it here. You heard it here first, everyone.
Yeah, you can follow High Rise at High Rise Game on Twitter. High Rise Season 5 is March 28th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can see that. They'll share out all the information on that. Season 6 is still casting on April 10th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm 90% sure I'm applying. I haven't fully done it yet, so I can't really. I think I can do better than I did last time, and I think I did pretty good last time. So I'm just going to state that. But of course, also. You can follow Lana at Lady J78 on Twitter. Follow Logan at Jim Leader Logan on Twitter. Follow Luke at Hawk Trapper or Trooper or.
You had it right the first time.
TRPPR.
Trapper.
But it's just all great people, and I'm so happy to have you guys here as my last official of like the mini game series. It's funny that Logan is on both ends of it because I
was in the first and the last.
The first official one and the last one, yeah.
Well, again, on both ends. That's the first time I've heard that in a positive way.
Also,
Luke,
you can tweet at me at MarkLevy85. On Wednesday, we have something very interesting happening. It's the series finale of MarkTalk. It's going to be pretty much an open door policy to a certain extent. I want anyone that wants to hop on to be a guest. There's a Google form if you're interested in talking about anything specific, but also just DM if you want to be on. We'll figure out a time. This might be a long one. I don't know yet, but that's just the way that is. Also, Mark Remeets World will still be continuing. Just taking a few days off, maybe a few weeks off, just for my own brain power. And also for people that are interested, you heard it mentioned a couple times. Adventure Game Season 5 is April 13th at 7 p.m. Yes, that is a weeknight. Yes, it'll be done before midnight Eastern Standard Time. And yes, it should be fun. Applications are now open on the Adventure Game Twitter and also my Twitter. And I could tweet that out again very shortly. I'm so happy to have you guys here.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here, Mark.
Thank
and again,
you,
thank Lana for causing the ice storm that made me available.
The power that I have.
Lana's power.
I mean, you did it. You did cause power in Private Winners at War. The scorn of Lana is real. We know that. But we will see you guys on Wednesday. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.